if you want another really interesting one, there's a thing that Mr. Rogers did where they called it Freddish. And basically, it's the process that they used in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood to talk to kids. So I'd say like it's a 7-step process, but basically it's like how to talk to your kids about anything. So it's like state it as simply as possible, explain it in a full situation. Like it goes to I'll shoot you an article on it right now, but it's like how to talk Reddish. But it's something that every now and then I'll do with my kids. So it'd be like, we can't run in the street. Like, let's say your kid runs out the street. And you have to explain why you can't run in the streets. You have to say like, hey, you can't run in the street because it's not safe. It makes mom and dad very scared when you run the street. If you want to cross the street, you can talk to mom and dad or another adult, and then you can cross the street with them. So it's like it frames it in a bigger picture, but it really helps kids kind of get the big idea versus just don't do that thing. So I'll shoot you a link out right now.
But that's a mini version of that. Please do, by the way. I have a mini version of that because we got this drawing easel that has a whiteboard on one side and a chalkboard on the other.
Nice.
And I built it over Christmas Eve for her. And so when it's like the very minuscule version of what you just said, but when she's using the markers, and so she can pull off the caps now. And she'll draw, and then so she'll walk across the floor with the marker to go color on something else. Yeah, and I go, no. I go, and I repeat this one phrase. I go, when you're done with the marker, you put the cap on and you put it on the ledge, because there's this little ledge that you put the And every time she stops and she goes and tries to put it on, she's not very good at putting it on. But then she'll put
fine motor skills, man.
Yeah, so I just talked to her very like you just said, kind of in that tone and that cadence, and just like very direct and straightforward. And she gets it. I repeat, I said, when you're done with the marker, and as soon as I say that, she knows exactly where I'm going with it. And then you put it on the ledge, and then she goes, puts it there, and then done deal. So my 3-year-old, when my 2 girls, they would struggle to go to sleep. And so I keep my 3-year-old up with me, and we'd watch episodes of Mr. Rogers. And so I started like catching on to it. And so I went and like looked it up. But that's what it's called. It's called Freddish. But it was a system that he worked with a couple of PhDs from the University of Pennsylvania to develop this system. So in the scripts and all the show, that's how they kind of taught the moral lessons, how they taught the safety lessons, and how they kind of dissected it. But that's one thing that's really changed how I parent, is if I have the time to explain it, I'll try and frame it in that mindset so that they get kind of the bigger picture of it. I love Mr. Rogers. I couldn't make it through the movie though. The Tom Hanks movie, I couldn't make it through.